One apiece here at half-time, then at Old Trafford. Ryan Giggs and Wayne Rooney doing what they do best to put Manchester United in front. Pepe equalising before half-time for the visitors. And of course, the scoreline is secondary. This is Gary Neville's testimonial match. A really good turnout on a glorious evening in Manchester. I'm delighted to say I've been joined by Gary's dad, Neville. Evening to you, Neville.
Jeff.
Do you think he expected to run quite as much as he has?
I think he did, actually. He's been training quite hard underneath since he knew it was coming on tonight. He's trained very hard every morning, and I think he did expect to run or two, yeah.
What have you made of his performance so far, then?
I think he's done all right. He's got a few good crosses in, and he's gone on a few overlaps. It took him a bit longer to get back, but he's okay.
Here we are. We can have a little look at him. Probably playing further forward than he imagined, because a lot of the time he's been way ahead of David Beckham.
Yeah, he has.
But he's looked like he's enjoyed himself.
Yeah,
that is for sure.
He's done okay.
Yeah. You're a hard taskmaster. He's done better than okay with it, Neville, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Quite a tribute, wasn't it, to him that Sir Alex Ferguson has started Paul Scholes and Ryan Giggs and Wayne Rooney tonight?
It's fantastic. They're his best mates, and they've turned out, they wanted to turn out, and Sir Alex has not let him down again and let him play. There's a massive match on Saturday, and obviously, you know, we didn't think whether they would be able to play, but he's kept his promise and put him on, which is absolutely brilliant.
So what is about the Neville family then Neville? Because obviously, two sons, both England internationals, daughter was an England international. Is it in the genes? Is it from you?
No, it's the wife. 100% the wife. She's they've been great kids, and we've enjoyed every minute of it, and we've only got Philip left now, so we'll be down at Goodison every week watching him. Another great club and another great family club that we love going to, and it's been a great ride, you know, and end of day, I couldn't have swapped it for the world. It's been brilliant.
I mean, the one word that's used with all of them really is dedication, isn't it? And I think that when Gary was a teenager, he sort of cut himself off from a lot of his friends, didn't he, to dedicate himself to football?
He did. He had to. I mean, I remember the first day I took him in there at 10-year-old, and if you look round at some of the kids that were playing then, you know, you thought he's not going to get to their level. So he did dedicate himself, and he made himself what he is today, and some of the others fell by the wayside, and full credit to him and to Phil and to Tracy as well, yeah. Brilliant.
Not always easy being a dad, is it, either? Because you must have had some nervous and some difficult times over the years.
No, it is easy in this family. I mean, it's enjoyment. Of course, you have bad times. Of course, they play bad. Of course, they've had the odd times when people have got on the backs. But you've got to, that's part of the game. It can't all be rosy, and we accept that.
And I'm looking around, Neville, you know, the crowd who've turned out here this evening.
Fans.
Must make you very proud.
Very, very proud. I mean, there must be 40-odd thousand on here tonight, and they're the best supporters in the world, and I'm sure we could have got probably about another 60,000 in on Saturday, but these fans are brilliant. They're unbelievable, and they've been great to Gary as well, and to Philip.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to last the full 90 minutes?
Well, I've had a bet with him that he might do, and he said, I don't think so, so I don't know what he's going to do, to be honest. Phil wants to play all the game. He's keen to play all the game, but Gary said, I don't think I'll survive it, so we'll see.
OK. Neville, thanks for joining us. Enjoy the night.
It's been a pleasure, and thanks for Sky for covering us as well.
Thanks very much, Neville. Thanks very much indeed.
What
a piece at half-time, but I say the score is secondary here this evening. It's a special night for the Neville family and, of course, Gary Neville in particular. The second half at Old Trafford still to come on what is an absolutely glorious evening, and I'm sure it's going to be just as much fun, well, maybe not quite just as much fun for Gary as the first 45 has been.
After the joy of retaining the Ashes in Australia, England's heroes return to Test action on home soil. Can Strauss's side overcome tourist Sri Lanka as the international cricket season begins in Cardiff? See all the action from all 3 summer tests in stunning high definition only on Sky Sports. England v Sri Lanka, the first Empower Test, coverage sponsored by Jaguar, starts Thursday morning, Sky Sports HD1.
Time to knock 'em out. As I never pay attention to haters or negativity, I've been around before you know I'm on the go. Knock 'em down in the ring. That's where I'm king. This is what you want. That's where I'm king. That's where I'm king. Yeah. Zig zag, zig 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 zag.
A lot more than bricks. All right, a lot more than sustainably sourced timber.
A lot more than insulation.
And next day delivery.
A lot more than great advice.
And a decent trade price. A lot more than tool and plant hire.
And renewable technologies.
And we've been your local merchant for 175 years. That's nearly as old as you, boss. So get more. Get a juice and lot more.
Morning, Churchill. Your car insurance, how low can you go? Could I save up to £10?
£20.
Or even
£50.
Up to £319. That's magic.
Oh, yes.
Call our UK call centres to see how much you could save.
OMG! Classic titles around £19. Mario Strikers, Wii Sports, Animal Crossing, and WarioWare. Great games! Around £19. Best ever value Wii bundle, around £129.
She's got an eye for older ones. Thinks she can make money off them.
Ka-ching!
To see the current value of any UK home, visit zoopla.co.uk.
What's the UK's most trusted fabric conditioner for sensitive skin? Comfort Pure. Because nothing makes clothes softer. No wonder it's the UK's most trusted for sensitive skin.
Raise your very own puppies and kittens on the all-new Nintendo 3DS. Pick your favourite four-legged friend as you play with toys, dress them up, or take them for a walk, show them off in contests, or even show them a trick or two. Nintendogs Plus Cats, only on Nintendo 3DS.
You can't fit 125 years of innovation into a commercial. But you can find it all in the new Mercedes C-Class Coupe.
Looking for great deals this summer? Argos it. Right now, save up to 30% on all fridges and freezers, like this Indesit fridge freezer, now under £200. And save £170 on this 6-gig Acer Aspire laptop with Norton Internet Security, now under £380. Plus, save £100 on this Samsung 37-inch 1080p Full HD TV, now under £300. And get a free £10 gift voucher when you spend £100 or more. Find it, get it, Argos it.
Carling are offering you your perfect pint. You can have it wherever, whenever, and however you like. Tell Carling what it is, and if they like it, if they really, really like it, they can make it happen. Like this. Isn't that right, boys? Yeah. And there's millions more prizes to give away to make your pint even more perfect. Just buy a can or a pint of Carling for your chance to win. Cheers!
Well, not just a big week this week for Manchester United, but a big week at Old Trafford because the League Two playoff final between Stevenage and Torquay takes place here on Saturday. It's live on Sky Sports HD 1 and 1 from 2:30. And on Sunday, Huddersfield and Peterborough arrive here. Promotion to the Championship is on the agenda for them in the League One playoff final again, 2:30, Sky Sports HD 1 and 1. And then on Monday, the centre of attention switches to Wembley once again. Reading take on Swansea in one of the biggest game of the season, the Championship playoff final, 2 o'clock, Sky Sports HD 1 and 1, also available in 3D. Well, he's out. He may be a bit out of puff, but he's out for the second half, that's for sure. Gary Neville and his Manchester United teammates level at half-time, one apiece the scoreline here in front of what we estimate to be 40,000 plus at Old Trafford. Let's rejoin our commentators then for the second half. Dwight York and Martin Tyler.
Thank you, Jeff. You join us as we just try to work out the substitutions that are going to take place, because Juventus have a raft of them. Definitely on is Fredrik Sørensen, a young Danish right back. Looks like Bonucci in the middle of the defence. And also coming on now is Alessandro Matri, finished 4th highest scorer in the Serie A.
We've got to go.
So Juventus at 1-1 start the second half. And as Lindegaard has come on in goal for Manchester United, in place of Thomas Kuszczak, goalkeeper who arrived here officially in the January transfer window. For the record, 1-1. Okay, Martinez, a Uruguayan international, has come on in midfield. Krasic is still playing for Juventus. Del Piero is still playing. Matri is his strike partner now in place of Luca Toni. The number 8, Claudio Marchisio, another regular first-team player, is on alongside Felipe Melo. Matri is a real goal-getter. More a goal-getter perhaps than a goal-maker.
Yeah, certainly. I think that Juventus come out second half with the intent of trying to take the game a little bit more. I expect a little bit more from Manchester United as well, because you look around, there's much younger players on the pitch, players who are still trying to find a way, who haven't played particular all season, and they will probably all want to finish on a high. So I expect the game to be a little bit more intent and going forward, and hopefully a little bit more goals in the game as well.
Gibbs over top. Clem came on during the first half. But wants to go the distance here. I'm sure Beckham does as well. And we've heard from Neville no less, that his younger son Philip is determined to play the full 90 minutes.
And why not? It's a great occasion, Martin. I think you know, the ones who don't get to play anymore and been here in the past, you know, when these opportunities come by, you want to enjoy it, and you want to enjoy it as long as possible, because there will come a time you will no longer play here. And I think the guys like Butty and Bex and, you know, Phil Neville, even though he still plays in the Premier League, and still relish the chance playing.
He'd like to get a win here, wouldn't he? Hasn't had too many wins with Everton coming back to Old Trafford.
And I think it'll be a while before they do that as well, to be quite honest, Martin.
Here's Del Piero. Beckham came across to get the ball back. Here's Bebe. Gibson. Lowen is still with us. Beckham's cross and Bebe! The latest in the line of Manchester United players to benefit from such service, but he couldn't take full advantage of the chance Beckham carved out for him.
Again, you know, Bex does what he does best in terms of you give him space and time, and there's no better crosser or delivery of the ball than David Beckham, and he certainly shows quality again, and I'm sure Bebe would be disappointed he didn't hit the target. But fantastic cross again from Bex.
Goalkeeper that Bebe was trying to beat. Incidentally, you might recognise Alex Manninger, who was with Arsenal for a while and played in a famous win here in the 97-98 season. And, he kept a clean sheet. Mark Overmars scored, and Arsenal went on to win the double.
I wasn't here then, Martin.
Well, exactly. It all changed when you arrived, right?
I remember that game myself, and a fantastic game. But I'm sure that he will relish the opportunity coming back at Old Trafford as well.
Beckham. That's it back from Gibson. Gary Neville hasn't ventured across the halfway line this time, but does. It's the understanding that they had for so long. It's a football understanding. Great friends off the pitch.
Well, it shows that he's come all the way from America, missed the game, but for the MLS, with his current team, just to be here for just special occasion. It just goes to show that they do go a long way back, and it's great to see him make that effort. And I'm sure that you know, they're more than just friends, Martin.
David, when he was interviewed about his return, said, Gary's given me a lot of advice down the years, most of it good.
And some bad one in between, I'm sure. But yeah, Gaz the advisor. He's always been that way.
I think what the Sky Sports viewers are going to find out. There'll be plenty who've got different opinions of Gary Neville. He's always been so much for Manchester United. Obviously, he was against a lot of others. And he is a really good guy. He's got a self-deprecating sense of humour, which you would never have known when he was shop stewarding things for the last 20 years.
I think the Sky viewers will be amazed. I think, you know, a lot of people say he's anti-Man United, and probably is for a certain time, but they get to understanding and they get to know him a little bit more and being at Sky, and I'm sure he'll have the opportunity to express himself. And I think he's a fair guy in the end, and you know, I'm sure Sky Sports and everyone else and all the viewers are looking forward to seeing him.
So, a great run by Krasic. Some thought that Manchester United might try to sign him when he left CSKA in Moscow. He scored a great goal here in a great game, a 3-3 draw in the Champions League group stage
and
years ago.
And you can see why, Martin. Sorry, you can see why. He seems very attacking minded. He's got one thing in mind when he goes forward, and you know, he's got intent, and he looks very promising on the hour. And I could see why Man United will link him.
He's been quite a rare beacon for Juventus in a very difficult season for the club. Will they hope help them as they're moving to a new stadium or back to the same site, the old Stadio delle Alpi that you will remember well, but was never very fan-friendly and certainly not television-friendly. Anybody who thinks that we can have a football ground with a running track around it. Oops, I probably said the wrong thing there. Here's Krasic.
Yeah, great.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I really do. A great position sense there from John O'Shea. Really got his position right there, and very calm defending.
Good time run by Michael Owen. Gibson's pass. Beckham. Bebe was trying to sneak in. Marchisio. Piero was voted yet again Juventus' player of the season.
It goes to show, isn't it? Age has nothing to do with it. I mean, you look at Ryan Giggs and what he's done and how well he's been playing all season and the previous year.
Juventus was starting wide from Matri.
Yeah, great opportunity there again to hit the target. I think the execution was a little bit off there, but yet again, Juventus showing some good football and good play in between as well. Good interaction play.
Matri was signed from Cagliari in the January transfer window and scored 11 goals for them to his tally to 20 area, which left him fourth behind the Natali, Cavani and Samuel Eto'o, who's still going strong. Maybe going strong is not quite the right expression for Gary Neville. The spirit is willing tonight. We'll see how strong the flesh is as the minutes tick on. Very willing to go forward, was not really found by a pass worthy of the run.
Yeah, just a bit overpass, isn't it? A little bit too firm there, Martin, on the pass.
This is the end of football for Juventus this season. The end for their coach, Gigi Del Neri. Although the Juventus press office has refused to confirm what's been all over the media, that he has been sacked. Antonio Conte, former Juventus midfield man, will be in for next season in the new ground, which is much more intimate, actually set pretty much inside the structure of the old Stadio dell'Alpi. Felipe Melo wants it back, gets it back, and there was no flag. It was Martinez who nearly got in. Marquisio. Now Del Piero. Krasic. Proper tackle from Philip Neville.
Didn't think those tackles exist anymore. It was a well-timed tackle, that was, from Philip.
Well-timed and well-received from Krasic, to be fair. Here's Butt. Gibson inviting Gary Neville forward. He's kept it in. Don't they know it's his testimonial? Traore will be as old as Gary Neville is now, and maybe we'll do that to him.
One thing for sure, you see he's willing to go forward all the time, though, even though he knows he can't get back. He's up there again.
Manninger, a much-travelled goalkeeper. He's been, of course, since he left Arsenal. I think to be a bit too impulsive. But if they put him into perspective with some of the goalkeepers who followed, maybe he stacks up a little bit better than the time that he left. Krasic, not really stacking up with the shot. It's a night for the memories, and boy, have they got some memories. Plenty to talk about when they get to Wembley on Saturday as well.
Two proper legends, isn't there?
It's a much used word these days, but as you say, properly used for them. Here's Oberton. But Michael Owen nods it on nicely. Beckham winding up for the cross. Played in the Serie A, Manninger, this season. All his appearances were in the Europa League. But in the end, he untangled himself from the tangle of legs, which he might not have done 10 years ago. Matri. Made a tee up. Del Piero. Krasic was a bit annoyed it didn't come to him on the edge of the area. feisty in the tackle.
Yeah, that's one thing that has always been good little butt play, is his ability to get in there and dispose the ball from the opposition. Again, he's done that over a number of years, and not only that, but also a fantastic ball player when he gets the ball as well.
Marquisio. Lindegaard, I guess, will be the new number 2. David Gea from Atletico Madrid will be joining Manchester United when the transfer window opens in the summer. A lot of experience already. He's won a European trophy last year, the Europa League with Atletico Madrid. And been a lot of scouting done in that goalkeeping situation. They had enough problems replacing Schmeichel, so replacing Van der Sar.
My old friend Bosnic.
Yes.
Vartes.
Taibbi.
They all, but you know, that goes to show it's such a difficult position to play. And again, you know, when you're replacing people like Schmeichel and Van der Sar, you know, he's come in there and done an absolutely fantastic job.
Here's Phil Neville. Schmeichel signed off in Barcelona against Bayern Munich. But didn't end his career. Signed off for Manchester United. Del Piero. Now got 2 goals in the first half. Wayne Rooney for Manchester United in half an hour, but Sir Alex Ferguson allowed him 4 days before the Champions League final. Just before half-time, Simone Pepe headed an equaliser. Krasic. Canelo hasn't played that much towards the end of the season. His fitness back and enjoying a bit of game time tonight. Knowing that his injury won't be overtaxed by a physical side of a fixture like this. Here he is. And went for the pass for Matri. I'd be surprised if either side looked for the perfect goal, really. Plenty of purity about the football. Passing has been precise and ambitious. Piero's had plenty of the ball. Obertal. Get away from Sorensen. John Neville stick to Krasic. Del Piero. Martinez. Del Piero. Three couldn't get in. Score in the draw with Napoli. Napoli, one of the sides from Italy who are in the Champions League next season. Two Milan clubs and Udinese. Have a chance. Two number 7s combined. We understand one of them is coming off, but we can't tell you which. We'll find out shortly. Well read by O'Shea. Beckham again. He really has been the star turn.
Just a bit of exhibition and passing, how you deliver a ball with pace and accuracy. And Beckham has managed to do that. As I said, you give him time and space, and he can do that all day long.
Del Piero wrong footing Martinez. And there's 20 minutes gone in the second half. Salihamidzic, who you might remember from his Bayern Munich days, is about to come on for Juventus, for whom he has been quite a peripheral figure, but he did start the last league game against Napoli at the weekend. It's his first start since the last league game of the previous season in Serie A. Felipe Melo. Oh, a bit of disguise on that pass. A bit of chasing down. Matri and Martinez between them. Brown scored against Juventus with his 5 first-team goals for Manchester United. Well, Anderson is coming on, and Raphael. A couple of changes for Juventus as well. This is Hamidzic, the Bosnian international. Michael Owen is coming off. And can I say as well, with a chance to compete for a place on the team sheet at Wembley against Barcelona.
I think that when you see players like Anderson coming on, and you know, we all know what's likely the team is going to be against Barcelona at Wembley, but you know, there's other places up for grabs on the bench. And, these are I know the game is not of importance, but it's the players to get a little run around and do the things and certainly stake a claim for a place on the bench.
Del Piero goes off to great appreciation. And he's replaced by Filippo Boniperti. If you know your Juventus history, it's a famous name. His grandfather was the previous leading scorer of all time for the club until Del Piero surpassed that. Former president of Juventus, so the young substitute is well connected. Boniperti played the second half against Napoli at the weekend. Playing centre-half now is Gary Neville.
But I've never seen Gary Neville trying to bring down the ball in the middle of the box there, but done it extremely well and certainly looking comfortable there, I think.
Here's Bebe. Colsey's hardly had to give a free kick. He's decided to give this one. Bebe ends up in the penalty area. The attempt to stop him started outside.
It's a great positive run here, Martin, from Bebe. He's gone straight at the heart of the defense of Juventus, and really a bit unlucky not to get away from them. But what a great opportunity for David Beckham, isn't it? I think that's what everyone is. The crowd is really excited about it.
I don't know what they're more excited probably about David Beckham taking it and scoring than the offer that was, I think, sent in his direction by his great mate. Come and have a crack. Yeah, he's still asking.
I think he knows. I think that was just a gesture, but I think if it's a penalty, I think I'd probably fancy Gaz to do it. But this ball here and where it is in free kick terms, there's only one person for this, and I'm sure he's relishing this. This is a great opportunity for him.
Up steps David Beckham. I remember on that famous day on this ground when he was playing for England against Greece, he had a few sighters. Of course, it was only right at the last that he...
I think the only thing that probably I would say with this was maybe a touch too close. He loves it a little bit further out, and he wasn't able to get it up and over the wall, which I'm sure he would be disappointed because it's the one opportunity he's waiting for in the game.
You think Gary, thinking at the end of it all, he could have done better?
I don't think he is. As much as he may be optimistic about it, but I don't think so, Martin.
scored 5 Premier League goals, Gary Neville, all of them at Old Trafford. Here comes Felipe Melo. And another of the teenagers, well, Gian Donato.
Going back to the goal, Martin, his 5 or 6 Premier League goal that he scored at Old Trafford. I think I've laid on 1 or 2 for him in the past, so I'm sure he'll be happy with that.
That'll be a free kick to Juventus in Beckham territory, but they haven't got Beckham. And they haven't got Del Piero now.
Correct, I was just going to say that. You just took the word from my mouth, Martin. But again, it's a great opportunity for one of them, one of the players to step up and take the opportunity. You know, in the past, we know the Italian football has been based on dead ball situation. There's always been great free kick takers in the past. And who knows, there might be one of them step up here and surprise us all.
Hit by Bonucci. Quite the finesse of a Beckham, and it's produced the corner, which is more than Davies did at the other end. Bonucci going towards the near post. I must say, LA Galaxy have got David Beckham very fit. He's shown no sign of flagging at all. And that campaign for him, he still believes he's good enough for England.
Well, it's one of his quality, apart from other stuff that his quality with the ball and stuff. But his fitness is always something that he's always been top of the game. You know, the time that myself and him run out the bleep test on a couple of occasions, and he's certainly been one of the fittest in the past Man United years that he's been there. So it's no surprise to see him in good nick right now as well too.
Conceded by Raphael. At least we assume it's Raphael. Twins have been talking today about how they play practical jokes on people. I don't know whether they played a practical joke on us.
It's very, very difficult. Even I get confused at times, even going into the dressing room, and I really don't know which one I'm talking to.
Good height. Lindegaard, has he got a Schmeichel-like throw? He probably has.
That was very impressive.
Anderson didn't have a York-like touch, though, to receive it.
It's on his wrong side, though.
Never troubled you.
Very, very generous of you, though. Thank you.
You get selective memory, you know. Here's the Krasic. Gibson. Now Oberton. Plenty forward for Manchester United here, including Philip Neville on the outside. Oberton. Anderson. Bonucci gets it away. Played most of the games this season. Martinez. Lindegaard comes out quick off his line. Oberton. Nicky Butt to David Beckham. Manchester United colours. Special night for those who have so many memories here. It's Butt again. Oberton. Anderson is a scorer against Blackpool. His first Old Trafford Premier League goal on Sunday. But saw the point of danger. The legs start to go, but the brain doesn't.
I think that's just come down to experience sometimes, Martin. Just recognizing the danger. Don't have to really run around. You just have to have good position sense, and certainly Nicky Butt showed that just now.
Bebe, I don't know whether he saw a red shirt in the crowd. There are plenty of them. But is it not one of the cruelest twists of fate, right? At the moment that you really start to understand the game, the body tells you you can't play it anymore.
It happened to all of us, man. We keep saying, going back to that. I'm sure there's players, you know, just like myself in the past. You know, you just can't do it. Your brains stick over, but your legs just can't go. Just like my marathon running, I'm afraid. You know, for 23.5 miles, I felt I was nearly there, and suddenly it hit me. I couldn't go any further, and it's just like that in football. You just realize that you could no longer play the game. The game has just got too fast and too quick for the younger players now.
Even if you go back into midfield and being a striker.
Yeah, correct. Well, that's what you tend to do when you.
It's a lovely run here, and in the end, Neville wrapped his foot around the player and got the ball. I don't think Mark Holsey was of a mind to award a penalty tonight.
Well, my first instinct there, I thought was a pen. I thought he didn't get
it. It was Martinez who was weaving the magic.
And, you'll be interested to see the replay on that one, Mark.
Krasic. That's a lovely cross and a really good chance for Matri.
Well, I think again it's all about the delivery from the player here, and you know it's the kind of things that Big Run would have said, a goal ball. And I'm sure he didn't have to do much. The connection wasn't great. Just needed to hit the target and he would have scored.
There's Martinez coming up on the deck. Promising so much. Martinez this time. Maybe Matri this time. Whistle had gone. Juventus a bit like guests at a party, not wanting to do anything that they will be remembered less than fondly for. Or maybe that's the reason they finished 7th, right?
Oh, probably, but they realise that you know there's more important game at stake here for the players at Wembley, and they probably don't need to do too much. But some of these young players are showing intent that they want to do well, and what little opportunity they've been given, really trying to make a mark.
Martinez. Traore making it around the infield of Boniperti. Lining up a shot of his own at Old Trafford. Krasic. Just beyond Matri. A challenge by Beckham. It was the wrong side to make that challenge, and Mark Halsey slightly reluctantly realises he has to play fair for Juventus and give them the free kick. They might have had a penalty. Matri's headed over from a great position. Neville trying to keep it at 1-1 with his defensive organisation here. Well, that is fantastic. A brilliant free kick from Gian Donato. One for the future.
Well, Martin, I don't think anyone would thought he would be going for goal from here, but he showed great ability to get it up and over, and to beat the young goalkeeper in goal is a fantastic strike from a very difficult angle. You know, you sort of, from those kind of angle, you expect the ball to be whipped into the danger area, but not to go on goal.
Well, David Beckham would have been very proud of that. He gave away the free kick, actually. He was the villain this time. Juventus had a young hero who game moves on.
It's a cruel game, isn't it?
Here's Raphael. Manchester United led through Rooney. One thing you know about Juventus, a bit like Manchester United, they have fans all around the world. And in Italy, they are known as the club where every corner of the country has fans of Juventus, whatever the locality. And I guess that also Manchester United in this country, certainly down where I live in the south.
When you look at the history in Italian football, Juventus is certainly the household name and the one that everyone associates themselves with. There have been some fantastic players and fantastic champions in Europe and all the things that they have done over the years. But you know, to think of Juventus not being in European football is, you know, it's.
There's Brown, a bit short of match practice recently. He used all his experience and pace as well to stop Krasic. Phil Neville. 10 minutes to go. His big brother's big night. Gibson. Beckham. Raphael's cross, not a very good one, collected by Gibson. But wanted it back from Obertal. Meet of the night, safely negotiated by Ferguson's players, who are in contention for a place at Wembley. It's given away by Boniperti, and it's Anderson. Looking to see as much of Beckham as possible. Anninger suddenly punched it to Anderson. There's a crack. Deflection nearly came Beckham's way. It's a corner for Manchester United, which Beckham will go across to suitable adulation to take. See the flashes going off from the cameras.
Yeah, I think again the crowd is showing their appreciation of David making that journey all the way from the States just to be here tonight.
Raphael, that's Bebe. Gary Neville was just behind him.
Again, ball came in here. Raphael just tried to keep the ball alive, and quick reaction from Bebe, but unfortunately couldn't divert it on target.
Two signs of strain now, but he's done well. Maybe it's the pie and mash that he went to get. It's a famous favourite restaurant. A taste that he doesn't get in Los Angeles. I guess it's the same for you, Dwight. There must be something in Trinidad and Tobago that you can't get in the UK that you want to get every time you go home.
Yeah. Some macaroni and cheese. My mom cooking, I do miss that, I gotta say, but I've been here so long now, Martin, I forget what it's all about.
Juventus looking for more, and another free kick. I don't think Mark Pulisic was ready. There are certain parameters of refereeing that you have to adhere to. It's got to be Levin aside. Well, this is the farewell. A one-club man, one-eyed in his devotion to it, tireless and talented in the cause of Manchester United. And now he'll be looking to bring those qualities into a wider world. Replaced by Scott Wootton. I'm sure he'll do a proper cool down afterwards.
I think he'd be
hard work.
I think he'd be delighted to be sitting where he is now. I think he's really gone out there and tried his hardest tonight.
What about that from a free kick? Sorry, Dwight, from Krasic. I didn't get Jan Donato on that one.
Yeah, but he wasn't far off, Martin.
Here's Raphael. Manchester United looking to equalise. Of course, it's not an official game and won't to damage the home stats for the season, but the Manchester United team wants to come off the stadium having been on the wrong end of a scoreline. Anderson, Gibson, Phil Neville.
Well, again, Martin, it's just great play that Man United always does, even when they're trying to get a goal, they're probing away. And a great effort from Phil Neville, really. I didn't think he has that in his locker, but he certainly shows some imagination there.
Phil Neville's hesitated there. Oh, he can get back in because Martinez played it a bit too wide to Matri. Boniperti. By Brown. Traore. Put in by Nicky Butt. Very proud to finish his marathon tonight. Gibson. Beckham going around the outside. Is Gibson going to pick the right pass? Well, it might been towards what the crowd regard as the right man, but it might not have been the right pass.
Again, Man United are probing away. They just never seem to give up. And it's part of the tradition of the club. And you know, even though in a friendly game like this, in a testimonial game, they still don't want to lose it.
But Phil Neville, maybe it's unmarked in the middle. No gimmies from Juventus. Corner. Just wonder, Dwight, how much time he wants added on here.
Well, he's got that famous watch on, hasn't he?
Gibson! Picked out with supreme style by Beckham's corner.
Again, over the years, how many times we have seen it would have been what normally Beckham to Scholes, and it would have been only one result in those situations with time and space like Gibbo just. But great technique, and just a bit unfortunate for him for not hitting the target there.
Raphael. Over top. Anderson. Offside would have been given against Raphael. There weren't that many times in their heyday that the team was in trouble, but when they were, I look back over the record, a number of times that it was a Beckham or a Scholes, or even a Nicky Butt goal. Ryan Giggs, of course, is still doing it. Pound away. A combination, of course, they're ultimate professionals, they play with their heads, but to get a group that plays so much for one club with their hearts as well. Only we look back in years to come, we realise how important that was, that affection, that love, devotion to the club. Here's Raphael. Off go the flashlights again. It's another Beckham corner. There will be a delay, and David Beckham helping the stewards. And I guess a little bit of over-enthusiasm, certainly not like one of the younger pitch invaders that you've ever seen. He'll be wiser for that, and hopefully he won't have spoiled his chances of following Manchester United here again. And I think David Beckham might be saying, why not let him back in? He's a lad, but he shouldn't have done it. If you let one do it, they'll all be wanting to do it. Anderson. In for Nicky Butt, trying to come up with the equaliser. Juventus have played their part here. They've contributed to the entertainment. They've probably played, Dwight, what would you say, 80%, but it's what these nights are about. You do need somebody else to come here and be the opposition, and they've worn the black and white stripes with pride. Might have scored more actually than the two.
Yeah, Martin, I think you're totally right with what you're saying there. I think Juventus have done themselves a lot of credit in terms of turning up here and putting on a fantastic show for such a fantastic occasion, for a great cause as well. And hats off to them in many respects. You know, as I said, you know, they have to be the opposition, but it's been a fantastic outing today.
It has been an evening worthy of the man. The record books will show that some 42,000 were here to honour Gary Neville, despite the fact that Manchester United had big games just before and very soon afterwards. But David Beckham made a long journey back to pay homage to a very good friend and to take part with the golden generation one last time, perhaps, at Old Trafford. Juventus won the game, but they haven't spoilt the party.
They certainly haven't done, Martin. They've done themselves justice. I think everyone appreciated them coming all the way after a very difficult season back in the Italian league. And it's just absolutely beautiful to see them here.
And we're now going to have an opportunity to hear from Gary Neville himself. There will be others to come and have careers as long. I'd be very surprised if anyone ever will show such devotion. He's never had a night out, he's never had a training session missed for the wrong reason, and here he is talking to his crowd tonight.
Everybody who's come tonight, fans who played a huge part in my career, feel like I'm one of you and just fulfilled my dream of playing for this club for so long, and I hope that you feel I'm okay. I'd like to thank the players who I've played with for 20 years. It's been an absolute privilege to have played with them. To my family, very special to me. To die and to the committee for all the hard work that they've done. To the manager and the coaches, without I wouldn't have achieved what I've achieved in this football club. I'd like to thank David, Phil, Nicky, coming back and playing tonight. I'd like to thank Juventus, a great football club, and I respect them a lot. Thank you. most important thing is we've got to go and win that trophy on Saturday, and I wish to like
He actually came here, Gary Neville, 2 months before Sir Alex came. He was 10 years old when he joined, I guess, what was called the Centre of Excellence then. Ron Atkinson was still the manager. And as you've heard earlier in the programme, Dwight, not too many, including his own dad at that time, thought he would have the skill to come through at this famous football club, let alone play for as long as he's done, let alone win the honours that he's done.
It's a great tribute to Gary Neville and the family, you know, what he has done, what he has achieved in the game. You know, people often use the word legend, but he's certainly going to go down as a legend in the Manchester United history. And again, every kid out there who's watching is just somebody who you can look up to with hard work and, you know, dedication to your sport, and, you know, you can achieve all these things. And as I said before, he's not the most talented person in the world, but you talk about commitment, attitude, professionalism, all of those things adds up, and he's got it in abundance and deserved everything that he has done in the game and achieved in the game. And as I said, what a fitting night for him, and I'm sure that for the 20 years he's been at this club, that these fans really do appreciate him, and there's only one red, and that's Gary Neville.
Well, what is great credit to Gary Neville as well. He worked so hard at the start and all through his career, but he knew when it was time to stop, and sometimes that's the hardest decision to make of all.
It certainly has, Martin, and we all come to that stage, but, you know, as I said, he still had a year remaining on his contract, and he had the courage to really say, you know what, Gaffer, my time has come to an end. I could no longer be the player I was once, and still was man enough to walk away from it, and that's just a tribute to Gary Neville.
Well, he fulfilled the dream of every boyhood Manchester United fan. And he's talking now to Jeff Shreves. Jeff Stelling, apologies, Jeff Stelling.
Well, I've got Gary with me right now. Gary, how did it go for you, first of all?
Yeah, enjoyed it. It was most important thing. Most important thing was that the lads got through without getting injured. I enjoyed the night. Great turnout, and like I say, I wish we'd have won the game, but that wasn't it to be.
Did you expect to play quite as long as you did?
It was how I felt, really. I felt okay during the match. It wasn't played at high tempo, and that was important with Saturday to come for the lads.
Now, what about this prospective partnership of you playing ahead of David Beckham? Do you think that's got some legs in it?
No, that was because I couldn't get back, and he could.
Look, there was a moment in the second half, free kick just outside the box. I think David was saying, come on, Gary, take it, but you wouldn't have anything to do with it.
No, I wouldn't have reached, I don't think, to be honest with you. No, it wasn't for me. Let him take the free kicks.
Yeah, well, look, it's been a fantastic night. I guess it's exceeded your wildest dreams, really, Gary.
It has. I'm so proud of everything, and like I say, hopefully now it can be a great week and we can finish it off on Saturday.
Over 42,000 here, Gary. It's quite a tribute, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I say, I mean, the fans, they have so much to contend with. They've had to come Sunday, Monday last night, they've got a Saturday again, you know, and they're always loyal and to the players, and they've done that again tonight.
Gary, very well done indeed. I know you need a drink and a shower, so off you go. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cheers. Oh, there we go. I've got 2 mics. There we go. You can hear the reaction. Tells you absolutely everything about what they think of Gary Neville here. That is for sure. Star of the show tonight, no question about it. Gary Neville. 42,000 turned up to see him, and they all loved it.